presenter is Nils Landin. But searching the participants, I don't see him up there. Maybe you're under a different name, Nils. Well, we'll give him a minute or two to log in, and if not, we'll just leave the space open and fire back up at 11 o'clock for the next presentation. While we're waiting for Nils, if anyone has any more questions or comments from our previous presenters, whether it be from Carolyn or Madonna Moss or Roberta or anyone else or Jason, feel free to ask away. Well, don't everybody ask at once. Well, all right. I do have one comment, I guess, on two of our presentations earlier touched on this, and this the theme of red ochre. In both Madonna's presentation and Jason's, there's a red ochre was a prominent discussion point. And I personally, I mean, I feel that red ochre is often an overlooked artifact in Alaska assemblages. It's mainly noted as a presence absence on other artifacts. And I think there's a lot of room for analysis of traditional paints in Alaska. I've been doing a lot of it on traditional paints as a youth outreach process. But there's clearly lots of indigenous place names, both I know of Yupik and Dena'ina place names associated with paint, so they're clearly they're clearly a resource as part of the seasonal round. And just wanted to get other folks' thoughts on red ochre as an artifact and thoughts on exploring it. We just got a question in the chat about, was ochre ever used for tattooing? That I'm unsure of. I know it's used for both painting in Alaska, and as I was chatting with Madonna, I've come across a bit of ethnographic evidence, not in Alaska, but for its use as a waterproofing material for hides. And of course, in some sunnier parts of the world, it's used as a sunscreen. Oh, we just got a question here. And that was from From Eric Hilsinger asking if there's a way to source ochre. In the Matanuska Valley, there's a site attributed to the Chissy clan of the Atna and Denina, named for the product, and if there's a way to source it like obsidian. And as far as I know, you can use XRF to get the chemical signature of it. If I'm incorrect in that, someone please let me know. And then Stephen Loring was asking for Madonna, wondering if there are any tool clusters or activity remains in addition to the red ochre floors. At some 7,000 to 6,000 BP sites in Labrador, interior caribou interception sites, they're finding red ochre floors associated with calcined bones and deposits of many microflakes of Rama chert.
I don't think Madonna's in here. I think she left, maybe. So that might
Madonna has abandoned us.
So yeah, I might have to send that one via email.
Yep. And it doesn't look like Nils.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing him either.
So let's just we'll just pause for another 14 minutes and resume at 11 o'clock. Oh, Jason Rogers wanted to pass on that there was a question about paint composition at Clam Cove and Sydney Bay, and the analytical report states hematite, binder, seal oil, and saliva or blood. One thing I will note in working with a lot of different tribes and communities here in South Central Alaska, what archaeologists call red ochre and what many tribes call red ochre differ. And that archaeologists kind of have a very scientific, specific definition of hematite, and whereas tribes often look at red ochre or red paint rocks as almost an all-encompassing term for most red rocks that can be used for painting. I mean, the exception would be like a red shirt or something like that, pretty hard and brittle. Well, all right. That's about it. Looks like the questions have died off. We'll resume at 11 o'clock.